Hello and welcome back, Internet friends. Another one-time Sony exclusive has made its way to PC, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Buckle up as we take a trip through the Norse lands in God of War. I went into this expecting a third-person action game with the visceral finishing moves and weighty combat. In that regard, I wasn't disappointed. Combat in God of War is savage, and Kratos has a lot of weight behind his axe swings and even his punches. I also really enjoyed how your son is used as a support archer with a cooldown that can damage and stun enemies while you wade through them, venting your rage and loss upon their bodies. What I didn't expect in a third-person story-driven game was combat depth that rivals the best fighting games or beat-em-ups that I've played. There are so many different builds and armors that support said builds that you can actually play God of War many different ways. You can start an axe combo and then transition to unarmed punches, all with support from the boy. It's very satisfying. And while I wish there was more variety in finishing moves, there is certainly enough enemy variety to keep my axe wet with the blood of mythical Norse creatures, and the creatures and world are truly next level. I have a pretty hot take towards the end of the video about that, and I encourage you to stick around to find out. I should really speak more about the gameplay, combat, exploration, and I will, in time. It's just that I can't go any further without mentioning the story. There will be no spoilers in this video, so don't worry. This makes my job of impressing upon you how much I love Kratos and Son's Odyssey considerably more difficult, but I feel everyone deserves to experience this firsthand, unspoiled. One of the best things I believe I bring to the table as a reviewer is experience. I'm over 40, and while video games are fun for all ages, I think I might carve myself a little niche as the voice of the old crotchety gamers. I only bring this up as God of War is about an older Kratos. He's left trying to raise a child while still being badass enough to knock people through buildings. The struggles of being a father with a temper resonate with me, and while I'm not so egotistical to see myself as a one-to-one comparison with the god that rips ice zombies in half with his bare hands, I can at least say I get it. Your relationship with the boy takes center stage as you travel on your journey, and the banter between the two, it's very organic. Kratos, he's awkward, obviously not known for his amazing conversational skills, but it's clear that he loves his son, and whether it's to honor his late wife or a quest of personal growth, he sincerely wants to be a good dad. Their relationship gets tested many times throughout their journey, and I just like the way it's represented. And that's pretty much all I can say without violating my self-imposed restriction on spoilers. Let's talk about that journey a bit, shall we? I'm not one of the many people that are burned out from open-world games. I'm still willing to climb towers, assault bases, and collect things. I understand I'm in the minority here. That said, I think God of War has done an amazing job of balancing exploration with enough guidance to still lead you into massive set-piece moments without making you feel like you're on the rails. These big moments lead me to my hottest take. I think God of War's world rivals The Witcher in sheer majesty, awe, and action. I'll admit having pre-written Norse myths to back it up is a huge boost in the right direction, but as a huge Viking nerd, I have to say, I have many moments that I've had with this game where I just jumped up and yelled, "Hell yes," upon meeting a creature of myth. I loved Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but the Cyclops reveal is absolute garbage next to some of the larger-than-life clashes that take place in God of War. I almost feel like I'm back playing with action figures when Kratos curb stomps his way through the Norse pantheon. These epic moments are propped up by, I'd say, an equally epic soundscape. I say soundscape instead of soundtrack because I actually had to rewatch some of my gameplay to even see if there was music. There is, but its role is to support the gameplay and story. If there's a flute playing, it's probably softly in the background behind a conversation about overcoming an obstacle. No, the sounds that make God of War great are the thunk of your axe as it buries itself in a Draugr's head, the deep boom of Kratos' voice as he warns Boy about some danger his keen senses have detected, or the crunch of snow behind you that warn you of a massive beast that's about to trample you for trespassing on its mountain. The sights of magic and myth, the sounds that ground your experience, and the combat and world building that make you say, I'll save after this next area and go to bed, make God of War an easy recommendation even at the full $50 price tag. Now, let's talk about some similar games that lead my ADHD brain in the same direction. On the mythological side, they're the last few Assassin's Creed games. I haven't gotten around to Valhalla yet, but it is in my library, but based on what I've heard, it fits in. Odyssey is a really great experience, and if you like Greek mythology at all, the DLC is well worth it. While I wasn't super on board when Assassin's Creed sort of jumped the shark and added the futuristic race, I think the sci-fi explanation of the monsters and myth in the last games, it's kind of cool, I dig it. And when I say newer Assassin's Creed games, I'm talking about Origins through Valhalla. I love the finishing moves Kratos pulled off in God of War. Sometimes you just need to rip and tear. No one does that better than the Doomslayer. Called glory kills in Doom Eternal, they are a great source of healing, encouraging an in-your-face savagery that is a ton of fun, and why the newest Dooms don't lack for fans in the slightest. Let's be honest, one of these is usually a bit of a stretch. Good sound? Check. Sweet set-piece action moments? Double check. Puzzles where your son helps you? Well, is a little utility droid close enough? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order gave me the same epic exploration vibes. You certainly weren't as powerful as Kratos, but I think through your own mastery of the Force and lightsaber styles, you can get some awesome flow state combat going. Sometimes agility can be more fun than brute strength. Until next time, I've been Septimus with the Grim Alliance, and you have been an amazing audience. I thank you.